Hello and welcome. It's Kristen from Life of Crafting, and I've got some more projects here that I've been kind of finishing off in my organization for this craft area. And these were some cards. Had a little something that was needed for me to finish them off. I don't remember really at this point in time. So I will get into what I finished off this week. So I will start with the Christmas, and then I'll get into those that were every day. This was a card that I found some inspiration on. Sorry, I'm trying to put this down to hide my glare from the mat. This I found off of Pinterest, and I kind of took it for inspiration. And I'm going to tell you, I really only made a few, and I will not be making more. It was a lot of work. I did it with crumb cake cardstock. I used the Stampin' Up! Cable knit embossing folder that's, I believe, been discontinued. What inspired, I was trying to use up some of this striped paper and this dotted paper that were part of a Paper Tray ink paper pack. It's been discontinued, it's out of stock. I don't even remember what the name of it was, but I do have several packs coming up. This was also something I wanted to try, which was this stamp set that was from Stampin' Up! And it's been discontinued. It's been many years. It was like Vintage Labels or something it was called, and I really wanted to give it a try because it looked like one of the ones that you could, let's say, punch out and layer up. I just wasn't feeling it. I never really did anything other than this card with it. I did take some red and antique off the edges of this to bring in some so you could see some definition with this paper. I did take a lot of different greens and just did all the different greens, and I just sat down, I cut a bunch of them out and then just piled them basically behind. This pine cone was Stampin' Up! Die set that was like in the pines, or some the holly and pine, something like that. Again, been discontinued for a while, but felt it needed some other color texture in there, and this was some seam binding that was out from Stampin' Up! Many years ago, and just a red and white twine, like baker's twine. So this to me was a good one as well. I was using up some scraps, and I was also trying some things out that I had not been used when I did this one. And like I said, if you're looking, if you want to make a couple of cards, this would be a good, you wouldn't mind it. To me, it was a problem because I was trying to make lots of them to use up this one scrap, and it's a lot of work if you're trying to mass produce. This is not one I'm going to say you could really do mass producing. This was a card I designed to use some of these dies that I had gotten in. These were, I believe, a memory box one. This is the memory box Frostyville here. This here was a washi tape I had gotten at Hobby Lobby, and I really liked the glistening of it. What I will tell you is it was not very effective in its adhesiveness. So you definitely need, if you are able to still find it at Hobby Lobby, you will need to add extra glue. Try to do a monochromatic look with it. I used a corrugated folder I had, and I just took some silver, like color box metallic ink I had, and I just kind of brushed over the tops of that. So I don't know if you can tell, there's a little bit of inking to it. And then these are just different punches I had. I think this may be a Martha Stewart, and this is, I don't even know who this is, the smaller white one. It's just like that purple, like color acetate looking covered one. And then there's a real faint, like this is like second or third generation of some of the silver from up here. There's snowflakes behind it. So I didn't put a sentiment on this. I felt like there was just so much going on. But again, I got to use up some of my stuff, or try to, use some of my stuff for the first time. And I did have fun with it. My only issue, like I said, was it was starting to come apart because of this not adhering down, and I put it aside. So I did finish this this past week. And I'm kind of liking how it came out. I don't know. I may make more of these. I haven't made my decision permanently on that one yet. Then I do, believe it or not, have some everyday stuff. You probably look at my stuff and think, why is she still making so much Christmas? I do make some every day. These were cards I made last year. Again, I'm using them for giveaway, so I need stuff that's non-Christmas at times too. And this was one, I'll be honest, I don't even know if I got inspired off of, I don't know if this was an inspiration off of Pinterest, but what I'm doing was I just used a layer of a pink I had in my stash. There's a layer of white, and then I took one panel and used an embossing folder, and this was just like a scrolling looking one that was from like Darice or something. And then after it was embossed, I cut it in threes. Actually, no, sorry, you can't do that. You have to cut first and then emboss, because you'll tear the paper. If not, it'll drag in there and then you won't get a clean cut. So I'm sorry, I cut the panels and put them in the embossing folder and then did it. This was a seam binding ribbon I bought off of Etsy. It's just a regular light pink. I felt like it was enough to go in there. This was an old stamp that I had in my stash. I'll be honest, it doesn't even have like a name on it, but you know, anything will work. And then these were some punches, an old punch that Stampin' Up! Had back like in the early like 2005 to 7 era, maybe 2010 era. It had two different size butterflies on it, and this was an old what do you call it, the paper packs where you get them, and it would have like all the subtles in it and all the brights or whatever. This was the subtles. This was, I think, the Blushing Bride, and it was just a paper that they did that you could, you know, match up to their patterns and or to their colors, and this was the Blushing Bride. So it was just using up scraps. So that was one I thought was a good generic. And then this is the Botanicals Builders dies and stamps, and I did this as a gatefold. I think I did see this off of Pinterest. I used some scraps of this may have been the Moonlight pattern from Stampin' Up! Way back when, but it's a very dark brown. Is this soft suede? Maybe it's soft suede. I'm trying to think of the names of the colors for them anymore. It's the darkest brown that they have. It's I can't think of it. I'm having it's the darkest brown that Stampin' Up! Has in their lineup right now. So then there is a layer of, I believe this at the time was called Hello Honey, and then the grid paper. And then I just took two different circles and cut them. I actually punched them out. This was their old word bubble punch at a time. And then I cut out different things from the Botanical Builders. I will say I had fun with this set, and I did keep quite a bit of the stuff. Like I said, I punched out a bunch, and then whatever I didn't get used, put back with the die so I could do more of it. But they really did have like fun. I don't know if you can tell, like they do like an outline, and then you can kind of push them back in there so that you get this 3D effect to the leaves. It really was a fun die set, and I plan to do some more with that. And then I just have like a cream color insert for the inside. And I thought that would be a good one just for I just did celebrate. It could be a birthday, it could be a promotion, it could be I don't think you do like a new baby or anything, but you know, any time you want to celebrate something that, you know, you have to get a card out of your stash for, that would be a good one. So these were the 4 I had for this installment of Saturday Morning Makes. I love that Jill has started this where we can all just share inspiration for anything, because I do have other non-card related projects as well that I hope to share soon. And I appreciate your time. I hope you've gotten some inspiration out of doing things with this. If you do have a question on something specific, I can try to answer as best. I have sold off several of my stash lately, like this one, so I don't have it in my hands anymore to give it to you as far as the name, but I can help you try and locate the name if there's something that you're looking for. Please drop me a comment. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful night. Bye.